learn what unmasking is. Unmasking is the process of identifying overlapping frequencies between tracks and using equalization adjustments to reduce the overlapping. It's my honest belief that this is the single most important concept in mixing, and it's definitely the most important one for my personal mixing philosophy. Now, I could nerd out here about why that is, but I gotta keep this moving for real, you know what I'm saying? But check out my blog or the forum section of the Discord server if you really do want to nerd out about it though. Anyways, I spent a lot of time and even more money learning this so that you don't have to, so just trust me. Frequency masking is the problem, and you fix it with equalization. And that takes us to tip number 2, which is using analog shelves instead of high passes and low passes. Again, the deeper reasons are nerdy, to say the least, but the simple explanation is that this is a harsher cut than this. The rule of thumb is that the harsher the cut, the less natural or transparent something sounds. And I guess I can't speak for everyone, but I typically opt for as much transparency in my mix as possible, so learning this one was huge for me. And we can use this in tip number 3, which is to always unmask your melodies. So we've all seen this one before, right? Like in every tutorial. But now you understand why this type of movement is important, and you understand how to apply this knowledge to basically everything else you do in your mix. It's frequency masking. Particularly in this instance, you want to unmask the low end frequencies from the melody so the low end from the 808 and the kick can be less obscured. You now also know the best way to unmask with analog shelves as opposed to high passes and low passes. So I'm actually working on a beat right now, so I'll just show you a demonstration using that. Right now the melody and the 808 are soloed. And I've got the parametric EQ2 open already, and you can see the frequency distribution and nothing's EQ'd. So it's as simple as taking the bands on the default setting and EQing out some of that low end as you're listening. If you really want to hear what's going on, you can mute your 808 really quickly. So if I come over here and mute my sub bus and then come back into this parametric EQ2, I can really get a feel for what I'm removing. Now it's super important on the low end, but it can also be useful on the high end too. And again, you're just kind of taming frequencies. And a lot of times it adds a dope timbre, at least to my melodies, when I tame a little bit of the high end frequencies. I can come to my melody bus, go to this equalizer in Neutron, and equalize even more in Cascade. And now it's sounding really clean. And again, we're just using an analog shelf.